Prabowo asked to preserve Balinese culture, commitment to build North Bali Airport. And Acting Governor asked for investigation into Finn's Beach Club permit. More on Finn's Beach still. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat siang. Welcome to the latest news from Bali and Indonesia. This is November 4th, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? No rain still. Again, it is 30.0 degrees Celsius, and the wind speed 14.4 kilometers an hour, and the humidity 71%. And it's not cloudy as yesterday. Yesterday was cloudy, looked like it was going to rain again, and it didn't. And this is an update on the original video that I was going to do. I started editing the video for last night, and this story came up about Prabowo being in Bali and what he had to say, and I decided that I needed to put that in because it was actually more interesting, more important than the other stories. And so I've juggled things around now. So bear with me on this because I'm going to be doing some cutting and editing and all of that. Let's get right into it. Prabowo asked to preserve Balinese culture, commitment to build North Bali Airport. Yes, more on North Bali Airport. President Prabowo Subianto apologized for not having the chance to go around expressing gratitude for his victory in the 2024 presidential election. President Prabowo, who's also general chairman of the Gerinda Party, took the time to visit Bali on the sidelines of his working visit to Merauke, South Papua. This was yesterday. President Prabowo asked future Balinese leaders to commit to preserving Balinese culture. Prabowo arrived at Bendega restaurant down in Denpasar yesterday afternoon. And waiting at the restaurant when he got there, a slew of politicians. Included in the politicians were candidates for mayor and deputy mayor of Denpasar, and candidates for governor and deputy governor of Bali, along with former governor of Bali for 2 terms, 2008, 2013, 2013 to 2018, Made Mangku Pastika. And in addition to talking, they were singing together. The president also entertained the guests by singing a duet with the cabinet secretary, Teddy Indra Wijaya, and the former governor of Bali, Made Mangku Pastika. In his direction, President Prabowo emphasized the commitment to build Indonesia to be better. According to him, Indonesia's development can start from Bali. Bali has the advantage of being famous in the world, he said. We already have a trademark. Everyone knows Bali better than Indonesia. This can be used for good. The president also entrusted Bali to the leaders who will be elected in the upcoming regional elections, which is in about 2.5 weeks, I think. According to him, Bali's strength lies in its culture. President Prabowo reminded that the interest of other nations to visit Bali is because of the culture and personality of the Balinese people who are open and friendly to everyone. President Prabowo also asked that the cleanliness of the island of Bali be maintained. According to him, cleanliness is the basis of beauty. Foreign tourists who come to Bali, he said, certainly hope to see the natural beauty of Bali. Therefore, the president emphasized that the development of Bali must pay attention to environmental aspects. Building permits, billboards must not be done carelessly to protect the nature of Bali. The movement to maintain culture beauty is very important. If Indonesia, especially Bali, which is famous for its beauty, if we do not maintain it, we let it be because of greed, build it carelessly, put up advertisements carelessly, the beautiful things become invisible. Why come all the way to Bali to see billboards? Tourists are already bored if they see that. President Prabowo hopes to work with Balinese leaders who love their culture and defend the common people. I'm very happy to work with a governor whose heart I already know, so I think you understand what I mean, he said, followed by thunderous applause from the hundreds of people attending the meeting. Pressed further, Prabowo then agreed to give his support to Gerinda Party cadre Made Mulyawan Arya to become governor of Bali, accompanied by Putu Agus Suryadnyana. I pray, I can still recommend, he said. Together with the future leaders of Bali, President Prabowo conveyed his commitment to carrying out the development in Bali, including building the North Bali airport. We will make Bali the new Singapore, the new Hong Kong. Dare to think, we prove that Indonesia must be prosperous, not just a handful of people. After the agenda was finished, Prabowo admitted that he had to go straight to work. In fact, yesterday, the president took time to go to Bali Island after directly reviewing the development of the food self-sufficiency project in Merauke. Thank you. I was invited today in the midst of busy activities. I feel very happy to come to Bali to gather among friends, and I actually want to say thank you. In the presidential election that just passed in February, it turns out that Bali gave me trust. According to the president, winning in Bali was beyond his expectations. Even Prabowo and his vice president, Pak Gibran, managed to pocket more than 50% of the votes in the province known as the home of PDIP. During his visit to Bali, the president revealed that he would gather regional officials and regional leadership coordination forum to discuss environmental issues. In the near future, if I'm not mistaken, on November 7th morning, I will gather all regions, mayors, governors, military commanders, police chiefs, all officials, regional leadership coordination forum throughout Indonesia in Sentul, Bogor. There, the president plans to give directions to arouse officials to pay attention to environmental and cleanliness issues. According to the president, environmental and cleanliness issues are the responsibility of all parties, starting from the smallest scope at home or in the regions led by each. One of the messages given to Bali, the president wants the garbage problem on the island of the gods to be resolved immediately, because cleanliness is the basis of beauty that Bali sells as a tourist area. He reiterated, if we do not maintain the beauty, we let it be because of greed, because of short-sighted thinking, building carelessly, putting up advertisements and billboards carelessly. Think about Canggu. What is beautiful can become dirty, unattractive. Why would people come all the way to Indonesia just to see billboard advertisements? Therefore, when summoning regional heads on this Thursday, Prabowo will ask them to think about the environment, such as not allowing the installation of large-scale advertisements on the street. Yes, I'm all for that. And so there we have it. The president says he wants Bali cleaned up immediately, and he's going to support the building of the North Bali airport. Now remember that there are regional elections coming up in I think around the 23rd of the month, the 23rd, the 26th, I'm not sure the exact date. And so campaign promise, I don't know. But North Bali airport is coming up again more and more frequently. But even if they decide that they're going to build this and they can get over the land issues, which has been a problem for the last 20 plus years, well, how long would it take to build the airport? Quite a long time. And remember what former Governor Koster said, who's also running for re-election, and was not, I guess, at this meeting because I didn't see his name listed. He said we should build the roads first, the infrastructure, before we build the airport. And, well, that makes a lot of sense. If you're from here or if you've been up here a lot, you know the roads are very narrow, like they are in most of the island. And if you put an airport over at Kubutambahan, over to the east of us, the roads there are very narrow. How are people going to get around? And what's going to happen in terms of all of the surrounding communities? Now, I talked about that in another video yesterday, I think. I've forgotten. I'm making so many videos now, I've forgotten which one I've done already and which one I'm about to do. Anyway, there are a lot of issues with building the airport. And, well, some people want it and some people don't. So, enough for the airport. And, well, the cleanliness thing and getting rid of the trash, I'm all for that. And getting rid of these huge advertisements that you have everywhere and billboards. And, well, it just makes Bali look trashy. So, let's get on to the next story, which is the acting governor asking for more investigation into Finn's Beach Club. Boy, this is a never-ending story, too. Acting governor asked for investigation into Finn's Beach Club permit. The fireworks attraction held by Finn's Beach Club in the middle of a religious ceremony has attracted the attention of many parties, including the Bali provincial government, Pemprov. Acting Governor of Bali, Pak Mahendra Jaya, asked his staff to investigate the operating permit for one of the largest beach clubs in Bali. The acting governor held a meeting to evaluate the results of supervision and coaching of the Finns Beach Club with the integrated team for development coaching and supervision of Bali province at the Bali governor's official residence. Okay, a lot to say as usual. In the meeting, a number of issues related to Finns Beach Club were raised, including licensing and employment. The acting governor said that although Finns Beach Club claims to have complete permits, further inspection by the one-stop integrated service licensing service is still needed. I don't want any rules to be violated in maintaining Bali, said the acting governor. This guidance and supervision activity is not only carried out for Finns Beach Club, but for all tourist accommodations and Bali. This is in order to keep Bali Shanti, he said. In addition to licensing issues, another issue that has emerged is the presence of foreign workers at Finns Beach Club who have not been fully recorded. Responding to this, the acting governor emphasized the importance of strict supervision and asked the Manpower Office to follow up. Their presence must be properly recorded so that it does not harm us. The acting governor emphasized that Bali provincial government is open to foreign tourists and investors who want to contribute to the development of Bali. However, he reminded that every party who comes must respect government regulations and local customary rules. Anyone who comes to Bali must obey the applicable rules, respect customs, culture, and religion. This is the appeal of Bali in the eyes of the world. And so, more and more and more on Finns. So another story to follow up on. We'll have to see how that goes. In the moratorium of construction of hotels and villas in Bali, one of the things that's been discussed is that farmers, people with land, and let's say a lot of them farmers, sell their land or rent it out long term because it makes sense to them financially. Whether it actually works out that way over a long period is another question, but at least they think that it makes sense to them financially. And so there's a story about this. Tourism more popular than agriculture in Bali. Smart farming introduced to younger generation. Right, because younger generation, a lot of them don't want to be farmers. The agriculture sector in Bali is less popular with the public. On average, people prefer the tourism sector as livelihood, even though tourism is vulnerable to issues. In fact, agriculture in Bali has great potential if it's managed well. Bali's dependence on tourism is very high. It was proven that during COVID-19 pandemic, Bali's economy really slumped. Many people turned to farming at that time. However, now that the pandemic is over, agriculture is being abandoned again and people are going back to tourism. In fact, the agriculture sector has great potential in each region. It is a sector that Bali must rely on besides tourism. Responding to this, the chairperson of the Consortium for Strengthening Partnership Ecosystems for the Development of Innovative Tourism Based on Bali's Regional Potential, Dr. Nyoman Sri Astuti, said based on her research, the interest in the agriculture sector is small. One of them is seen from the gap between regional potential and the competency of graduates in each region. The great agricultural potential is not accompanied by graduate competency. Like Badung Regency, which has an agricultural vocational school, but is currently more focused on agro-tourism. Likewise, other regencies still have a gap between graduate competency and the agricultural potential that they have, she said. Furthermore, she said that the younger generation was reluctant to take advantage of this agricultural potential. One of the things that can encourage public interest, she said, especially the young generation, is smart farming, which must begin to be implemented. What is smart farming? We're going to find out. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Cool Young Farmers Community, oh, I love that name, Anakagung Gadig Agung Hatama, said that smart farming has begun to be implemented in Bali. The community has also implemented this farming system since 2018. In Karangasem and other places in Bali, our smart farming has become a model for smart farming in Indonesia to educate smart farming that is environmentally friendly, smart, cheap, and easy for farmers to do. And there are many smart farming role models in Indonesia, he said. He said that smart farming really makes things easier for farmers, such as in automatic and scheduled watering activities, automatic fertilization, and so on. The smart farming that we are developing is about educating farmers with fundamental things. He said that there are 3 definitions of smart farming that can be achieved. First is how farmers become smart farmers by maintaining culture. Second, how farmers earn a lot of income. And third, how technology is developed to help farmers. The point now is how our farmers are committed to farming, focused on not moving around. Smart farming changes our stigma, the work of farmers, which was previously tiring, hot, dirty, and yielded little. With smart farming, it's easier and becomes more enjoyable. Okay, first thing I've heard about smart farming, wow, that sounds great. And if it would encourage younger people to go into farming, or to keep farming, remember talked about food sustainability and food self-sufficiency, a huge issue in Bali and in Indonesia, especially in these trying global times. This is a kind of a follow-up story too. We're going to talk about one case in particular, but mention several other cases because this is ongoing. And what is that? Deportations, yes. Well, running fishing tour service in Bali, Serbian siblings deported. Serbian brothers were deported for opening a fishing tour service business in Karangasem. The 2 foreign nationals were arrested by Singaraja immigration officers after receiving information regarding their activities, which were suspected of not being in accordance with the residence permit. Previously, we received a report from the public that there were foreigners suspected of working illegally. We immediately sent a team to the location and found the 2 foreigners, said the head of the Singaraja Immigration Office, Hendra Setiawan. When questioned, the 2 Serbians claimed to be just guests at the tour provider. However, the immigration officers did not immediately believe them because the 2 showed suspicious behavior. Based on the results of further examination at the Singaraja Immigration Office, it was discovered that the 2 entered Indonesia with a visit permit on September 9th, 2024. However, it turned out that the siblings worked as managers and offered tour services in the Karangasem area. Our team routinely and continuously carries out supervision, both by going directly to the field and by utilizing digital media. The siblings were subjected to administrative immigration action in the form of detention and deportation. Both of them violated Article 75, Paragraph 1, in conjunction with Article 122, Letter A of Law Number 6, 2011, concerning immigration. Before being deported, they were detained in the Singaraja Immigration Office detention room. I didn't see that when I was there. It must be in the back, while waiting for the administration process to be completed. Both were then returned to their home country this past Friday. We will take firm action against any immigration violations without exception in accordance with applicable regulations, according to Pak Hendra. And in addition to these, there were 2 Indian citizens who were deported from Bali. And why are they deported? They were tricked, apparently, into work as chefs by fellow Indian citizens who were here and got them to come. And apparently they were working for peanuts, well, almost peanuts. And they're deported, and they're going to be blacklisted as well. And then we have a Ugandan woman who is being deported or has been deported based on online prostitution case. She was acting according to immigration as a pimp for other African women. And so more and more and more deportations. We are going to reach a record high this year, it looks like. We still got 2 more months to go. So immigration is out doing their job. Okay, that is it for today. It's time for my granddaughter to get back from karate, and, well, got a lot of stuff to do. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care, and I will see you next time.